In this Warframe Beginner's Guide, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about one of the most important things in the game, which is your mastery rank. What is it? How does it work? Where do you even find it? And most importantly, how do you level it up fast? I've noticed quite some misconceptions about it in the community, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. First of all, what even is your mastery rank? Spoiler, it's not your Warframe's level, and it's also not really related to your current loadout. No, your mastery rank is what can best be described as your entire account's level. You find it in the top left corner when you're in your orbiter next to your little profile picture, or alternatively, you can press escape, go to your profile, and it'll be shown there as well as how many more mastery experience points you'll need in order to progress to the next rank. We'll go over how to rank up here in a minute, but first, why is your MR so important? Why should you even care about it? Well, first of all, and as you probably already noticed while shopping for new equipment in the market, most weapons are locked behind a certain mastery rank, meaning you can't wield them until you reach set MR. And while gladly not all low-level things are complete and utter garbage, most of them kinda still are, and higher mastery means more and better options for your loadout. And while you will have every equipment in the entire game unlocked by mastery rank 16 already, there's still incentive to go further. For example, ranking up your reputation with the syndicates and the open world factions limits you to a certain amount of standing gained per day. That threshold, however, increases with your mastery rank. And let's be real here for a minute, 31,000 standing per day at MR 30 sounds pretty sweet, doesn't it? But even beyond all this, there are still activities and possibilities that you can only unlock at a certain MR, like being able to trade, join a clan, or automatically add Iatan stars to your sculptures. Whoever came up with that brilliant idea. So long story short, while your mastery rank is certainly not everything, it's definitely something you should be aware of and keep on increasing if you have the opportunity to do so. But how, I hear you ask? How do I increase my mastery rank now? Well, while you're down there, giving the video a like so it can spread to more people, thanks by the way, let's finally look into that now. First off, it's actually really easy. Mastery experience is gained in two different ways. First, by finishing missions on the star chart for the first time, so whenever you turn a blue blinking mission node into a white one by successfully completing said mission, you gain a certain amount of mastery experience. I cannot tell you exactly how much because it's always a weird crooked number and I have no idea how they came up with this. Just know your first mastery ranks in the game will most likely be gained automatically simply by playing the game, and that's perfectly fine. The second method, and the one you're mostly going to use in the long run, is leveling equipment. Remember how in the beginning of the video I said your mastery rank is not related to your weapons or Warframe's level? Yeah, that was not really exactly precise. Let me explain. Every time an equipment piece reaches a new level, you will receive a certain amount of mastery experience. And this is true for basically everything in the entire game that can be leveled. Weapons, Warframes, Arcwings, companions, just everything. For every weapon level, you'll receive 100 mastery XP, and for every Warframe, Companion, Arcwing, K-Drive, Necromech or Railjack level, it'll be 200. Meaning, with a max level of 30 for the most equipment pieces in the game, you can expect 3000 mastery XP for every weapon mastered and 6000 for all the latter things. The few ones that can actually go up to level 40 of course will then end up at 4000 and 8000 experience respectively. However, one very important thing to note here is that these mastery XP are only gained once. Getting a Warframe up to level 30, then selling it, buying it again and leveling it up again will not give you any more mastery experience. Also, resetting levels by applying Forma does not allow you to gain mastery XP again. So, long story short, each level, for each and every individual equipment piece in the entire game, will only give you mastery experience once. So if you want to get a lot of it fast, then the best way to do so is to build as many weapons and Warframes as you can possibly get your hands on, leveling them up to their max level, and then either keeping them if you like them, or selling them off again. If you'd like to see a guide on how to best and most efficiently level up all your stuff in Warframe, then don't worry, I've planned to make a video on this here very soon. So if you want to see it first day when it comes out, make sure to leave a sub. And in case it's already out by the time you're seeing this, I'll have an info card up there in the corner for you. But wait, Blacky, if every source of mastery experience can only be accessed once, doesn't that mean that there's an absolute limit to how much mastery you could get at any point in time? Well, yes. Right now, the magic number sits at around 2.2 million mastery experience and is equivalent to mastery rank 32, or in other words, legendary 2. Of course, this will constantly increase as more equipment is added into the game. But after all these numbers, there's still one more thing to know, and it's actually pretty important. Gaining mastery experience is not everything. Whenever you have enough mastery XP to get to the next rank, you'll have to pass a mastery test, and after successfully completing it, you'll finally have reached the new rank. If a test is available, you'll see a blue icon in your options menu when you're being in the orbiter with the option to go for the test. Alternatively, you can also visit Cephalon Samaris on any relay of your choice and find your corresponding test in his room that you see right here. However, you can only participate in one mastery rank test every 24 hours in real time. Meaning if you fail the test, and I'm not saying that you are because you're an absolute champ, I know that, still, in case that happens, you'll have to wait another entire day in real life before being able to try again. That's why I'd strongly recommend you to go for a practice run and see what you're getting yourself into first before you make your actually official attempt. Also, if there's a specific mastery rank test that you're struggling with, you'll find a video for each and every test in the Warframe wiki, or on YouTube you can look into what people are doing there and then just replicating it. It's actually not that difficult. But there is one more thing, one huge benefit, one light at the end of the tunnel. If one day you've managed to reach mastery rank 30, like I still haven't yet, you're being rewarded with the ability to buff you and other players in the way that you'll increase their experience gain, resource drop rate, damage dealt, and more. To do that, simply head to any relay of your choice, walk over to this altar thingy right here, and pick the blessing you want. Then every other player, including you, on that relay will be granted this specific buff for 3 hours. So that's really nice and actually huge for farming a lot of things in the game, so there's definitely incentive to go up to mastery rank 30. But if you came here to learn about mastery rank in the first place, it's more likely you're still pretty fresh to the game, and that's perfectly fine. So if you want the best start possible into the world of Warframe, you gotta also absolutely check out my top 10 beginners tips if you haven't already. We see each other next time, and until then, as always, good loot!